¿Qué onda, chavos? Bienvenidos a otro video de Alreversal. Y bueno, esta vez les traigo este video de la EGS 2013, lo que viví en la EGS Night. Y estos 3 días acompañado del staff de Tierra Gamer, sin duda un gran equipo y una gran página sobre videojuegos. Si gustan visitarla, dejo el link ahí abajo en descripción. Y bueno, en fin, quería comentarles que pues solamente en este pedacito de video voy a hablar, debido a falta de tiempo y ya que me encuentro trabajando en esto. Pero pues les dejaré solamente el audio de estos videos. Son muy cortos. Tenemos dos entrevistas, uno con los chavos de Namco Bandai y el segundo con personal de Gameloft. Entonces no se lo vayan a perder. Además, les quería comentar también que ya tengo grabado todos los episodios de LCD, el emulador de sueños, que está medio tétrico. Entonces ya podrán ver el final más adelante. Ya lo tengo subido ahí. Solo falta editarlo. Entonces, bueno, espero que disfruten este video. No estará comentado, repito. Sin embargo, pues escuchan varias cosas chistosas y todo eso que hicimos de locuras allá en la EGS. Además, imagino que habrá alguien que va a decir, el típico listo que va a decir, ¿por qué no te muestras toda tu cara? Bla, 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 bla. No, no es que ni esté feo, ni que me haya mordido un perro, ni que sea, no sé, un alien o algo así. Solamente digamos que es para darle algo de suspenso a los videos, ¿va? Entonces, bueno, los dejo con este video de la EGS 2013 y espero que lo disfruten. Nos vemos más adelante, chavos. Y bueno, eso es todo. See you later, friends.
Sí, siempre, con WoW, no manches, dejé de jugar.
Dejé con un rato WoW, ¿no?
Dejé de jugar WoW porque me empecé a sentir como en South Park.
Ay, cuando están todas gordas y todo. Espero que estén super mega turbo crush. Hoy les venimos presentando la EGS Night 2013. En esta presentaremos varios juegos como Pack Door y
¿Podemos entrar o no?
Pues tiene más personajes, tiene más cosas, más escenarios, así que síguelo. Recuerden, 29 de noviembre de este año.
¿Quieres que te lo diga con toda honestidad? Sí, cuando dices que tú dijiste, ay, no me conoces todavía, yo, ¿por qué das mejores o cómo?
product in Latin America, but localization levels were lower. Our outreach was a little bit lower. But within the last year and a half to 2 years, we've really stepped that up in a very fast way, and we're looking forward to doing more down here.
And then to add what Denny just said, Namco Bandai, we have a really great lineup of franchises that we know are extremely popular here throughout Mexico and Latin America, and we really wanted to make a bigger commitment and deeper focus on growing the audience here, and also making the fans and the Mexican gamers really feel like we are listening to them, and that we are trying to really bring them the games in the best possible way so they can enjoy them to the fullest.
So now talking about Saint Seiya, the gameplay changed a little bit from the previous game. So why to make this decision? This game is more focused on battle 1-1. The other game was history and
When we brought out the game last year, Sanctuary Battle, it had actually been quite a while since there had been a Saint Seiya game, not since PlayStation 2. And we knew the fan base here is obviously very passionate about Saint Seiya, but it still had been a while. So we hoped that it would be received very positively, which the fans really did like it. So it made us even more motivated to make an even better game. And this year with Soldados Valientes, we actually have all 3 of the original story arcs from the manga in the game, whereas last year's game only had Sanctuary. And so because of having the additional story arcs, which also gives us the ability to have all the other characters, and there's a lot more exciting moments in the storyline, we wanted to make the game also changed to the fighting style, which we think fits Saint Seiya perfectly, but it really allows us to capitalize and leverage all 3 of the arcs and all the additional characters that are in the game, and make them really feel like fans can really enjoy picking all these different characters and battling. And then bringing it online, which was also new for this year. We now can connect the fans here with the fans in Brazil and Europe and Japan to see who's the best.
All right. So, as you can know, Saint Seiya is very popular. Can you tell us about we know that the rights to exist?
Well, I would say in terms of, if you're talking about the Western Hemisphere, North America, Central America, South America, definitely the Latin American territories are more familiar with the Saint Seiya franchise. It's definitely something a little bit new for North American gamers, but obviously we're hoping that with this launch, it's going to kind of educate them about the series, and then maybe they'll research more and find out, oh my god, there's this deep history to this franchise, and why are our gamer brothers in Latin America so familiar with this versus us? So hopefully that this release will actually generate more interest, and therefore we're all on equal footing. Europe definitely has their fans, and of course you mentioned Japan already has an established fan base. So with us, we're kind of like the last facet in this jewel of Saint Seiya fanhood, and hopefully we carve it out, and that therefore everybody around the world will be familiar and enjoy the series.
And then like last week, Denny and I were in Brazil for Brazil Game Show, and the fans down there are extremely passionate about Saint Seiya as well, and I think they share the same level of enthusiasm as the fans here in Mexico and Latin America. So I think it'll be really great for you guys to actually challenge those players down there.
The pride of your country is at stake.
It's like World Cup.
In past years, it was a little complicated to have one game of Dragon Ball or Saint Seiya, because of localization and translating that. So why
sort of goes back to the, like what we were saying earlier, is that, in the last 2 years, we've really, Namco Bandai has taken an even bigger focus on Latin America and South America and the fans here. And we know that these franchises, are so popular here, and we want to build in the production schedule so that we can do a better job of localization, get the language, support in there, Spanish, Brazilian, Portuguese, whatever, and then try to, create a nice flow for these games. I mean, we've got obviously Saint Seiya coming out in about 16 days here in Mexico, and then but we didn't want to put Dragon Ball out at the exact same time because we know the fans here love both, and you guys will be stressed out if they both come out at the same time. What am I going to buy? So we bring out Saint Seiya before the holidays, and then Dragon Ball is going to come out at the end of January. So there's some nice spacing, but we are doing much more effort and emphasis on trying to get our products to the gamers sooner. A lot of times some games come out in Japan and then it takes a long time for them to come out elsewhere. So we've been doing a better job of that and trying to even bring over some games that fans would never even think would come over because of other reasons, and like Project Cross Zone, for example. A lot of fans would really hoped it would come over, but they didn't think it would, and we tried. So yeah, we're making more and more efforts.
And beyond just game localization, one of the things that we're trying to do from Namco Bandai America is we're trying to build in certain announcements, certain programs and whatnot that are specifically for our Latin America fans. I mean, when we announced Saint Seiya earlier this summer, we didn't do it from North America. We actually came down to Mexico City and announced the game here. Same thing for Dragon Ball Ship Date. We actually announced that out of Brazil Game Show. So we're not only kind of just trickling out news that affects Latin America from our U.S. office, we want to actually be here and make Latin American specific announcements from here for you guys.
Right. So let me ask you something a little more involved here. What do you think that the release Dragon Ball titles overseas at the same time don't show because the movie was some great success. Maybe with the game,
No, it's a great idea, and the whole idea, the whole name Battle of Z definitely ties into Battle of the Gods. But the development timeline for the game, just needed more time with the schedule, and even when we first started developing the game, I think we knew that there was a new movie in the works, but the Japan release date versus when will it come out in other places in other countries. Like for example, in the U.S., the movie still hasn't come out yet, so it's hard to pinpoint okay, what day do you really pick? But we wanted to choose end of January, just because we felt that by then the movie probably would be out in many of the countries across the world, and it would be a good momentum for the game, especially since the game does feature some characters from the movie as playable for the first time. So we want to make sure everyone gets a chance to experience the movie and then play the game. So the timing, I see, on one hand, it would have been great to have it come out with the movie, but I think it's still great this way too.
Yeah, one of the other things to think about in terms of that is at Namco Bandai, we want to uphold a certain quality level for these games also. We wouldn't want to rush development in order to make a certain date to coincide with the movie, because we know the fans expect a certain quality, a certain gameplay experience, and we want to deliver the best we can. And if it takes a little bit longer and it misses a correlation date with the movie, so be it. Like Jason was saying, the movie comes out, it kind of starts that whole Dragon Ball fever, and hopefully by the time our game comes out, it kind of just continues that and just kind of rolls on through like a snowball effect. It just gets bigger and bigger.
Like a snow Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
So how in Dragon Ball because this system
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, kind of tying into the Dragon Ball. Yes. I mean, sort of what we just mentioned about the Dragon Ball fever. You know, a lot of our previous Dragon Ball Z games, you know, have been one-on-one fighting, and you know, this year's game, we really are focusing on team fighting. And what we think is really exciting about that is, especially here in Mexico and Latin America, where there's so much passion and love for Dragon Ball, is that now you can start a game and create your ultimate Dragon Ball Z team with 3 of your other amigos y amigas, and really share the love you guys have for the game at the same time, and with the ability to go online and challenge another team who also loves Dragon Ball and they're playing together. We just really wanted to give that chance for the fans to experience and share this magical Dragon Ball Z experience at the same time as a team against another team, and that's why we really focused it as a multiplayer game. You can actually go online and do. We have a battle royale mode as well, where you can have up to 8 players, all for yourselves. Everyone's out for themselves, so it's like a crazy Dragon Ball Z match. So I think it's going to be really great for the fans to kind of share this passion together.
So, talking about the roster of Battle of Z, how big will they I'm sorry. Are we having any characters with DLC?
We have, but we haven't really revealed the whole character roster in the game. But we have a really big roster of characters. I know that's not exactly a very specific answer, but we have a really good selection of characters. You may have noticed or may have heard about a special promotion that we're doing here in Mexico. Is for the initial copies of the game, there will be an exclusive DLC inside the box, which gives you the Naruto Goku as a new playable character, and we actually do have a couple other playable characters that are DLC, and right now we're sort of in discussions with the retailers here in Mexico and Latin America on how we might use those for different promotions and stuff. So we definitely have some other characters.
So also in Saint Seiya, in the past days we have developed special edition being completed. Can you tell us about that? I do this one with this one for this world.
So the special edition is something that we are still looking at trying to bring to Latin America. It's not confirmed yet, but we know that the fans here, really love it, or some of the very hardcore Saint Seiya fans. So we haven't given up on trying to make that happen. We're still working on it, and if we get any positive news, we'll definitely, as Denny mentioned, we'll definitely be issuing some kind of an announcement or something for the audience here. But to your larger question about the fan base, it's been great coming down here every time. Whether we're talking to you guys or we're talking directly to fans. I think the power of the Zodiac is coming through the wall here. The cosmos is growing very quickly. But the fan base is really amazing. It's really refreshing for us when we come down. It's actually, it energizes us actually, because to find that level of passion across so many people at the same time. Like I know the fans cannot wait for this game to come out, but I actually cannot wait for it to come out because I really want to see just how awesome it's going to be.
So Mexico, Marco and I, generally release
culture transcends all around the world. I mean, who doesn't know Godzilla, Ultraman? You know, they have a huge car culture, anime culture, manga culture, and it's really, Japanese culture is one of those things that really spread around the world, and it's got its own niche but coolness to it. And you know, there are obviously the mega fans that know every single piece, you know, be it the Naruto series or the Dragon Ball series or One Piece and whatnot. But in general, I feel like the things that come out of Japan, especially pop culture-wise, just transcends other cultures for some reason. You know, obviously I'm Chinese. When I go to Hong Kong to visit family, believe me, there's a ton of Japanese stuff there. You know, cartoons, anime, manga, all translated. You know, we go to Brazil, same thing. Europe, same thing. I think it's something that within these franchises that just resonate with people in general. You know, being stories of, you know, teaming up with friends on grand adventures with One Piece, or, you know, trying to become a powerful warrior. These are all things that kind of translate to all cultures and people, and I think, you know, they do it very well. They're very creative, and that's why people love it around the world.
también algunos para Facebook.
¿Cómo está el mercado de mobile gaming este año?
Mira, la verdad es que nos ha ido súper bien, gracias a Dios. Es que siempre en los últimos 10 años que hemos estado trabajando, siempre nuestra tendencia estaba a subir ventas. Y pues bueno, el 2013 no ha sido la excepción, sobre todo desde la introducción de los juegos premium. Bueno, se ha venido disparando todo lo que son nuestros reportes. Estamos muy contentos.
Hablando de los juegos, ¿cómo está su relación con Samsung en sus complementos en los dispositivos de alta gama?
Mira, la verdad es que Samsung es de nuestros partners clave a nivel mundial. Trabajamos, con todos los operadores, todos los fabricantes, pero Samsung ahorita está compitiendo, bueno, todo el mundo lo sabe, ¿no? Que están en el top. Es por eso que en el Electronic Game Show estamos en coparticipación con ellos, mostrando el juego de Asphalt 8, y pues estamos muy contentos. La verdad es que es un muy buen partner para ellos.
Bueno, hablando de Asphalt 8, ¿qué crees que se debe al éxito que tiene este juego de mobile gaming?
Mira, la verdad es que el éxito de este gran juego es que gusta tanto a gamers como a jugadores casuales. ¿Quién es un jugador casual? Cualquiera que tenga un teléfono, un dispositivo móvil. Entonces, bueno, es el gusto de todos y es por eso su éxito. Además de la gran calidad gráfica, eso es algo que le estamos explicando y que realmente si ustedes ahorita lo prueban, van a ser testigos de la calidad gráfica, de los efectos visuales que trae y además del soundtrack tan bueno que tiene.
Bueno, muchas gracias. Eso sería todo para esta pequeña sesión de game. Muchas gracias.
Muchísimas gracias a todos, un saludo y los invito a que jueguen nuestros juegos. Seguramente va a haber más de alguno que sea de su agrado.